Well, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go ahead and do the top 10, Bobby, while you're while you're doing your thing over there. So, once again, folks, we bring you the top 10 reasons that you might be a rodeo goat. These items, all of these that I'm giving you today, were given to us by folks on the site, members who have put up personal accounts and things like that, and every now and then we'll do a top 10. So if you can think of a reason that you or someone you know might be a rodeo goat, send them to us. You can click on the forum there and find that thread that's titled "You Might Be a Rodeo Goat." You can put it in the search bar and find it real easy. But it's called "You Might Be a Rodeo Goat." Give us your experiences, and who knows, it might make the top 10 here on this Goat Rodeo. So here they are, folks, starting with number 10. This week's top 10 reasons that you might be a rodeo goat, given to you in my best attempt at Don Knotts doing Jeff Foxworthy, okay? Number 10. If your wife ever told a state trooper that you needed to be locked up, you might be a rodeo goat. And it goes on a little further to say that was between Anniston and Talladega, Alabama, that top 10 given to us by our very own Dave Fulton. Dave, I don't know if that was a personal account or just someone you know, but thanks for giving that to us. All right, folks, and here we go. Number 9, the number 9th reason that you might be a rodeo goat.
If you goat music in the background,
I had to stop listening to the music. Man.
Yeah. Where did Big D get that? I can see that goat's rear end right now.
Oh, that's good. That's some good goat.
That's some
music.
good goat music right there.
I like that.
Mr. Quattlebaum suggested that. The Quattlebaum School of Promotion.
What do the Germans have to do with it?
Holy cow. All right, folks, here we go. Number 9.
Her name is Quattlebaum.
If you've ever attended races where the facilities were in the woods, you might be a rodeo goat.
And you had to run across the back stretch to get to them?
Those were the infield facilities.
That's what I'm talking about. You had to wait to the race between races to hit them, too.
And now you know who submitted that one.
I'm in. Been there, done that.
Number 8. If you've ever had to cut the lock off the gate to leave the racetrack, you might be a rodeo goat. Thank you, Billy Bisco, for that one.
They was trying to keep him locked up. See?
There's a lot more to that story that I can't get into tonight. But,
see, there was a method to it.
But I could.
It didn't work.
I could do this all night just on Billy's. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure if this next one came from Billy or Bobby. It sounds like both of you, but you can tell me. Number 7. If your shoebox lunch that your mama packed for you at the track included Vienna sausages, then you might be a rodeo goat.
And you had to warm them up with an acetylene torch.
And that was the bopper that submitted that one, I do guess.
Shoebox, Viennas.
The number 6 reason that you might be a rodeo goat. If you ever used a cemetery for a moonshine drop, and you might be a rodeo goat. I can't say who that one was without, giving away things.
Tim, the volunteer fireman. Discovery Channel.
Oh, gosh.
You might be Junior Johnson.
And this one goes with that one. Number 5. If you've ever taken a dump in the cemetery that you use for a moonshine drop.
I did not submit that
Then you might be a rodeo goat.
Did the Hanks come out and get you?
Folks, that one was number 5.
Somebody going to be a lot higher than that.
They just get better. This is a joke, folks. If you don't like them, go on home.
Go on the Miss Chicken site. I hear they got it going on over there.
Oh, gosh. Number 4. If you've ever gone straight to jail from Victory Lane, and you might be a rodeo goat. That one was submitted by our Georgia racing historian, Cody Dinsmore. Don't know if this was a personal account, family member, or just, something he
That
found.
happens a lot in Georgia.
There are a lot of rodeo
If
goats
the
down
race winner busted through the retaining wall to keep from being apprehended, you might have been in Georgia.
All right. It's time for number three. The third reason here, heading to the top, that you might be a rodeo goat. If you've ever stuffed drunk raccoons in a gunny sack, then you might be a rodeo goat.
That is not from me, ladies and gentlemen. I would wish I could claim the credit to that one.
Oh, number two.
That's from Denton, North Carolina.
Number two. I did a little changing around here on the top two during the show, but number two, which was formerly the number one, but now the number two, is if you've ever been to jail twice on the same trip to the race, then you might be a rodeo goat. Yeah, 2 times, man. Yeah. All right, folks. We're counting them down here. The number one reason coming up right here. Here we go. If you've ever eaten brie cheese and thought it was a lemon meringue pie, a bad one, then you are a rodeo goat.
Is that number one?
That's number one. It made the list during the show. This is an interactive list.
Yeah, instant stardom on that one.
You went to the top, man, in no time at all. Folks, there you have it. The top 10 reasons this week that you might be a rodeo goat. You got to, takes one to know one. Y'all call this a goat rodeo, so there you are. Those are accounts from our membership, believe it or not, right off of the forum on racersreunion.com, off the Stock Car site. If you can think of a reason that you or someone you know might be a rodeo goat, just go there and post it. You never know. It might make our top 10. Depends on what happens during the show.
And ladies and gentlemen, we've set the bar pretty dang high. Y'all gonna have to get those raccoons out. Gunny sack.
Jail twice.
Locked in the racetrack.
If you've ever seen the season points champion, if a ambush was set up by the county police at the racetrack because they knew he would be there, and he was wanted for child support or not paying it, then you've seen a rodeo goat.
Yeah, and that was
a few years ago. I witnessed that. They had the Bladen County Sheriff's Department had an ambush set up for the track champion at Dublin. On championship night, the champion was absent. He was in jail.
That happened.
Hauled off to jail before the festivities began.
That happened at Darlington, too, didn't it? On somebody. Let's see.
Jim Vandiver.
Jim Vandiver.
Yeah, he deliberately spun the car out.
And went out the back,
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Because if you ever want to find a delinquent racer, he will be at the racetrack. You can't find him no other place.
But he'll be at the racetrack.
He'll be at the racetrack.
He ain't going to miss a race.
That's right.
He ain't gonna
Jeff,
miss a
I
race.
tell you what, I'm glad I didn't have to read that, because while you were reading him, I couldn't breathe.
Folks, that's right off of the website, man. I didn't make that stuff up. You can go there and check it out.
We need to go into the
It is a living word.
Number one.
Oh, yeah, except for number one, which happened right before your ears here. And eyes, for those of you that are watching the studio.
PKL says all control is lost.
Well,
Rhonda said that too. She confirmed it.
If y'all think that was good, hang on.
Dave said you reckon the Cleveland County Historical Society is listening.
And they say, these are the guys that got us to build the racetrack.
They want our $6.5 million. This bunch of redneck goat eating brie cheese thinking lemon meringue piers.
Oh, goodness gracious, man. What a time. All right. Well, I think it's time for the old mailbag. Where is she? Go get her.
The thing to remember about the old mailbag, guys, is always include the term mail. Don't say I'm opening the old bag.
No telling
Here
what
it
mail.
is, right from the mailbox on Smith Avenue in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's the old mailbag, hermetically sealed. This one was
A
more
two-pager?
letter than I thought.
It's a two-pager?
That second page is a cow eating grass. Oh, no, it has a P.S. on it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this was sent by certified registered mail. And I'm going to read it right here.
You're hereby summoned.
It's from the, let's see here, Dewey Cheatham and Howe. Dewey Cheatham and Howe, attorneys at law. 3803 Lakeshore Drive, Suite D, 500, Chicago, Illinois. You know, this is a reputable firm. Dewey. Mr. Robert Glenn Williamson, Post Office Box 326, Charlotte, NC, the home of rock and roll. Dear Mr. Williamson, my client, Bigford E. Wig III, better known as Big Wig. Bigford E. Wig III has searched diligently for you since 1967. Unfortunately, Mr. Wig recently succumbed to various maladies and will not be able to complete his 4-decade search. Various maladies. Fortunately, his son, Bigford E. Wig IV, also known as Little Big, resumed the search and has apparently successfully brought it to a conclusion. Unfortunately for you, your newfound status as, in quotation marks, radio personality was just the clue the Wig family needed. Your evasion of justice is now over. No more Mr. Fugitive, Mr. Big Shot. You see, my client suffered extensive social damage, developed an acute case of a condition that is now known as Rockinghamatosis. Rockinghamatosis is exceedingly rare. As a matter of fact, the Wig family are its only known victims. I doubt you are familiar with this condition, but it is thought to originate with an extreme sense of deliberate letdown. You see, as a result of you and your band of hooligan, ruffian, hayseeders prank, the Wig family missed the entire American 500 in 1967, much to their chagrin. The Whigs were testing the then new and ultra-secretive Dodge motorhome for Chrysler Corporation. They had successfully traveled from Michigan to North Carolina within mere miles of their destination when they were purposely misled by a bunch of what you may now call rednecks.
Was Bugger with them?
We know it was you. All right, Mr. Columbo, we know it was you. You can make a public apology, and the family may consider dropping all the legal options and actions. Otherwise, I must inform you that there are no statute of limitations for Rockinghamatosis. Most cordially yours, Broadhurst Smith Dewey. Broadhurst Smith Dewey, Dewey Cheatham and Howe, attorneys at law. P.S. My associates call me B.S. Dewey.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Dear B.S., I feel like that I need to elaborate on the plaintiff. Tim, you a lawyer or hung around a bunch of them?
Hung around a bunch of them.
Plaintiffs is somebody taking action.
That is correct.
That
yes.
would be the Wig family,
That would be
the
the Wig
Bigford
family.
E. Wigs. In 1967, my uncle took, like Tim, like your Uncle Bobby took you all to these races. I had an Uncle Alton who took me and his two sons, and we was all the same age. He took us to a lot of races, and he took us to Rockingham in 1967 to the fall race. And we camped out in the parking lot in a Dodge van, which was great if you're 13 years old. I mean, that's about as good as it gets. The next morning, we woke up and realized we didn't have any toothpaste. And so we embarked on a trip into Rockingham. Left the speedway, was going down US 1 to Rockingham. And then it was like a mirage to somebody in the middle of the desert, to our amazement. And Dennis Andrews, I hope you're listening, came this sign out of nowhere, said Rockingham Motor Speedway. And we all flipped. I mean, if you've ever seen a bunch of young'uns go nuts inside of a Dodge van, we went ballistic. And we never got no toothpaste, but we wheeled that Dodge van in there, and it was the old Rockingham dirt track.
Was it dirt or paved at the
It
time?
was dirt. It was dirt. And you all know what a dirt track looks like in the cold, naked light of a Sunday morning. They look a lot better on Saturday night.
Yes.
They look pretty sad on a Sunday morning. The bleachers, wooden planks, every one of them was sagging in the middle. But anyway, it was more fun than being at the big track. And so we all jumped out of the van and was running around and walking around the track and everything. That was the only time I ever saw the legendary Rockingham Motor Speedway. But as we was leaving, because it was getting pretty close to race time at the big track, as we was leaving, or getting ready to leave, I swear a big Dodge motorhome, big. And this was before people knew what motorhomes was. This was 1967. Now, see, everybody knows. But
Must have been a Winnebago.
No, it was a Dodge. Big, long, rounded in the back. Come lumbering in there right up to where we was.
It was blue and white.
It was blue and white. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I remember that.
They all were.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see many of them. Anyway, he come lumbering in there, and he pulled up to where we was, and he said, man, had a sliding window where the driver, he slid that window open. He said, we just want to get into center field.
A veteran.
We just want to get into center field. And my uncle looked at him with the straightest face in the world. He said, well, pull on in there. Richard will be here in a minute. And we got in the van and went on to the race. I don't know if that man ever realized he was at the wrong. That was serious as a heart attack. We want to get into center. If somebody's ever called it the center field, you ain't much of a race fan. And if he thought Rockingham Motor Speedway was where the NASCAR race was going to be, when it was a quaddle bomb production. There was one car. It was us, and we was leaving.
Oh gosh.
Well, that was super intelligence.
Yeah. So see, he's been mad all these years. It's been extreme distress and embarrassment from missing the race. He was on a research mission for Chrysler, as it turns out. So I don't think I really apologized to him, but it sure has been a lot of fun remembering. So back to you, Jim.
Oh, that's great, man.
How do you top that?
Another report from the old mailbag. Bless her heart.